It's all kicking off in the chase for Victor Gyokeres. It is going off as Arsenal are attempting to hijack a move for the striker. Not Benjamin Sesko. They might have put that on ice. They are putting in an offer or talking to the representatives at Sporting for Victor Gyokeres. And Man United apparently are also doing the same thing. There's only one way to go with this, people. Let's just be real. Arsenal, let's have it. It's a shootout. We talk about pull. We talk about aura. Arsenal fans saying, oh, you're getting players from Brentford and Wolves. All right, then. Let's see. Let's see. Let's have it. Let's be having ya. Because it looks like we're about to go head-to-head. Arsenal with Champions League football and Super Mikel Arteta doing great. 3 seconds in a row. Man United in the doldrums of football, in the dumps. 15th, no European football. It should be a walk in the park for Arsenal if you want this player, shouldn't it? Well, we're about to find out because it is getting messy in the hunt for Victor Gyokeres. I tell you that. It's going to be going off, Owen. This is going to be like, there's a lot of news on this. News that we didn't expect. Some people will be feeling scared. Some people will be like, I don't know, man. Now Arsenal entered the chat. It was easier for them to go for Sesko to give us a clear run. It's also getting very messy. I touched on it yesterday. I want us to talk about it more. There's more reports coming out of Portugal. As a guy famously said, Owen, it's all going off.
It's all going off. Yes, it is all going off indeed.
Get into everything. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are an SJA award winner. I know, I'll put them on in a set. We're an SJA winner, Channel of the Year 2024. So make sure you guys are liking up the video and subscribing. There is already what we got. 131 likes through the door, and we got nearly 1,000 people watching in the first couple of minutes of the show. So you already know it's going to be a big boy team. Over to you, Owen.
Yes, it is. Good morning. Welcome to the Transfer View. Welcome to United View. We've got a lot to talk about this morning. We were a little bit late. We always are. But the reason we were a little bit extra late this morning is because this saga has a new twist. Yes, we're talking about hijack settings. We're talking about Arsenal sweeping in and being a vulture on this carcass that is Sporting and Gyokeres' relationship. And they're going, we'll have a bit of that sweeping in. But just as they're sweeping in, so are Manchester United. And it now begin maybe a bidding war. A bidding war is what we're looking at indeed. Smash a like on the like button. We've already got close to 900 people watching. Let's get straight into the news, beginning with CNN Portugal yesterday. And all of these Portuguese outlets all coming out and saying different things. You can see them right there in the Photoshop of the Arsenal kit. Victor Gyokeres saying Manchester United linked Victor Gyokeres' agent yesterday was in a meeting with Arsenal. Of course, they have had long interest in him, but we thought that they were going after Benjamin Sesko. But maybe because of this whole situation with the fallout, maybe, as Alfredo Padula says, are looking to leapfrog Manchester United in this pursuit of the Swedish striker. In addition to this, a record from Portugal said that Victor Gyokeres' agent was meeting with Arsenal yesterday. Arsenal officials. Arsenal is the club closest to submitting an official offer for the striker. The player believes that Arsenal's project matches his ambitions. Arsenal, this was yesterday, are about to make an official offer. That was what the developments were yesterday. And a bit more on sort of the backdrop of all of this. This is what Fabrizio Romano said. Flex touched on it in the Flex's View yesterday, also touched on it now, saying that there is this tense situation between Gyokeres and Sporting. Despite that previous pact, the gentleman's agreement for an exit worth around 65 million euros with add-ons, Sporting president insists on a higher fee. The price was still under 100 million euros, which is the release clause, but not 65 million now. Gyokeres, described as furious, about to go on strike, told Sporting, I'm never, ever going to play for you again. I'm not going back to pre-season. It's not happening. And as I said, the vultures that Arsenal are, we're going to sort of sweep in and pick the flesh off this carcass. But this morning, Flex, a little bit of breaking news, once again coming from Record in Portugal, who do, to be fair, they broke the story about Gyokeres being furious and obviously the stuff being taken out the bio. So their credibility with this is actually, not too bad. They say that Gyokeres' agent met with Arsenal and Manchester United officials yesterday. Both clubs are now preparing to present an official proposal to Sporting in the next few hours. So I suppose what we now have to look at, Flex, is a situation where we go, well, Arsenal look like they're maybe going to hijack the Gyokeres transfer. Maybe I'll change that headline right there because it's really bids are incoming today. Well, bids are incoming today, allegedly from Portugal, saying that United and Arsenal are going to present their bid. Maybe Arsenal a bit further along. Maybe this is sped up. the chase by Manchester United. What do you think?
I can't come away from it. Like, it's all going off. Like, it's gone from, is he that good? No one's really interested in him. I don't know. It's that kind of vibe. Well, listen, mate, we're seeing Arsenal potentially, according to these reports, we don't know yet, but potentially Arsenal are in for him, mate. And that's always been the case, but it looked like they was preferring Šeško and we had a clear run. But other clubs were interested in Šeško. But as it develops now with this war of words between the president and Gyokeres' camp, you can clearly see why teams haven't bid yet. You can clearly see they don't know what price it's even going to be. And even in that report where they put that when the president put the statement out, he even addressed like, yeah, I do understand that like 90 million plus 100 million euros for like a 27-year-old doesn't happen out of Portugal. So it's not going to be that. But it's putting clubs off. That's what's happening, which is why Gyokeres is getting angry. Nobody really knows what the right bid will be because he said it ain't 50 plus 10. I tell you that. I'm not sending for that. So what is it? Is it 70 plus 5? Is it 65 plus 10? Is it 80 plus 5? What is it? We don't know. So I think that's why you're not seeing. It answers the question and manages to calm us down in terms of why this isn't an easy deal to do and why everybody's not flocking at the door, because clearly there's a bit of a war going on in there. So, but this Arsenal thing, listen, like I said at the start, it is a let's be having, yeah. Let's go toe to toe, ban for ban. You know what I mean? What's the little cowboy thing when they quick draw thing? What's that called again? Can't remember what that's actually called.
They're gonna have a shootout. They're gonna walk, 5 paces. Quick draw. That's what it's gonna be.
Chewing a bit of flipping tobacco or some shit like that. That's what it is, because we have to go ban for ban with Arsenal and see what's going on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I haven't even got a cowboy hat, but yeah.
Where's my sunglasses? Do I have?
There's your sunglasses, mate. Oh, he's off. He's off to get the props. Owen's off to get the props. But this is what it is with Arsenal. If they've got a bid imminent, and if this report is supposed to be true, we're both lining up bids. And like one of them said there, Arsenal do match his ambitions more. Of course they would. They've got Champions League.
This town ain't big enough for the two of us, Fleck. Yeah.
What are you saying? What are you saying to Arsenal?
Quick draw.
I was a bit slow.
All right. You go. I'm waiting for you.
Oh yeah. 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
It was quick. It was way quicker than
quick draw. Quick draw.
I won. Gyokeres is mine. Sign the line, please.
Hold on. Wait a minute. All
right. I'm waiting. Ish. How long's he gonna be? It's getting ridiculous. Look at, bang, done him. Finish. It's ridiculous. I thought we were going to have a serious shootout.
Wait a minute. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you get involved with that? Yeah, Arsenal? Yeah? Talk if you're bad. Bid if you're bad. Bid if you're bad, Arsenal. Yeah? Bid if you're bad. Yeah? Yeah. Don't bring a pencil to a gunfight, Arsenal. Bid if you're bad. Yeah? Exactly. This is Jason Wilcox. Brother, you need to come with 2 of these, bro. 2 of these. We must not let them. No aura, no pull. Draft it, Jason, if you're bad. Draft it. Yeah?
Red flag.
Yes. Correct. Make sure they see nothing but red flags. Make sure, Jason, you got one. Yeah? 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 Oh, shit, hit me in the face. Yeah? Yeah?
Right, you win.
Come.
You win.
See that? Right down the lens, right down the barrel.
You win.
I'm doing that later for a clip as well. That'd be great fun. But
that was good.
Yeah, improv. That just come to my head.
Yeah, nice.
But there you go. I've got bullets everywhere. I hit myself in the face as well. I hit back off the camera and hit on me. But that's what we need to be on, Owen.
Yeah.
This is what we need to be on. You're knackered. I mean, yeah.
It's warm.
SJA winners content, 100%. That's what we do here. Real journalism. Real journalism. What, Arsenal got a bid? Draw for the Nerf guns, bro.
Badge.
Draw for the...
Yeah, exactly. Put my glasses on.
Sources say there's a bid. Well, here's how Man United are going to deal with it.
Yeah, everyone just shooting. Go. Do you know, I think that maybe this is exactly by design, Fleck. Maybe this is exactly by design. And the reason I say this... Yes. This one, like you said, had been moving slow. You said it recently, didn't you, when you said, is it a bit concerning? Is it a bit worrying that nothing's really happening with Gyokeres and he's this sort of sought after striker?
A lot of people are talking about it, yeah, exactly.
And no one's going in for him. Why is that the case? And then when all that stuff came out yesterday from the president, which, by the way, that statement, how long was it? Yeah, good grief. It was so massive. And the way he started off with it as well, I wanted to have a couple of days off.
Yeah.
It's transfer season, man. You're president of a football club. You just won the league. I wanted to have a few days off, but someone's trying to buy my striker. No, you know what I mean? God, come on.
Yeah. 100%.
And he's basically going, "Oh, we're not going to be, blackmailed and this, that, and the other." I think it might be a case of them wanting to get the whole situation resolved, like we were kind of talking about it yesterday when we were setting up this show. It is a bit, the Arsenal aspect of it is a bit weird, isn't it?
Very.
Because the sort of larger journalists, your Ornsteins, your Romanos, all have said, Šeško, that thing's coming along very nicely. And that one looks like that one's going to happen. It's not there yet, but it's getting closer. So then suddenly they're talking to Gyokeres, a bid's going to go in soon. Everyone's like, well, that's weird. So what, are they getting both? Are they not getting, what's happened? And there's been no report saying the Šeško deal's collapsed. So where has that whole thing come from? So it does make me wonder that, has this whole situation been sort of by design of Sporting we want to get this situation done. We want to get it sped up. We know that you're going to probably get Gyokeres. We know that you're working on a Mbumo deal and you might need sales, but we don't really care for that. Just go, go sort it out. And maybe if a bid does go into there from United, then it's worked, hasn't it? Then it's worked.
Yeah, it feels like it can. Yeah, on one hand, I see what you're saying. It feels like it can speed up the process because, people are getting annoyed and it's like they're setting their stall out. But also, I don't know, man. Like him saying it leaves a lot. I think this probably does a bit more damage than good, if I'm honest. I think it probably has the adverse effect. I think this makes this more of a saga. I think this makes this something or somewhere we don't really want to go with it. Unless Arsenal, this interest isn't really that concrete and, they're still concentrating on Šeško because, no disrespect to that Portuguese outlet. A lot of the more traditional sources that we go off, I think Romano and Plettenberg and these types of people have been saying talks on going for Šeško. That's where they're going with it. Šeško's made it clear he wants to go there. This is what it is. And he's been a long time target of them. They chose not to. They tried to get him last year. He signed that new deal, didn't he? Didn't want to leave. And Arteta's put big. It seems. I don't know because I could be wrong. Everything can change. It's the transfer window. But it seems like Arteta's tried to wait for the one. He does that sometimes where he's like, nah, I'm not getting bullied by changing what I want him. So I don't know, man. And really, this price now, as KG would say, is left to more interpretation. Because interpretate. What does he say? Yeah,
So you gotta have to interpretate it a lot.
Interpretate it, because interpretation actually is a word. But the way what KG says, I have to interpretate this. Yeah,
which makes it more mad that he got it wrong. That you're trying to get it wrong and you can't.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. You're using the right word in the right place for the right context. You're
trying to purposely screw it up, and your brain is not allowing you.
My literacy is so good. My vocabulary is so top that I can't even mess up the vocab if I tried. But in terms of single form, then for the agents working on this deal, this is a lot harder for them to interpret. That's how I have to do it for KG style. It's a lot harder for them to interpret because that sporting director, president, sorry, is saying, mate, I understand we can't sell a 27-year-old for 100 million euros. I did tell him that. And we honor our thing. But let me tell you this. We are not selling him for 50 plus 10. Don't know who told you that. Don't know who told you that. He's saying it's anywhere in between. So what is it then? What is it?
We said on this very show, didn't we, Flex? You know, we have learnt this many a time. If it's not written down on paper, it doesn't exist. So when, you know, you might think that whoever you're dealing with, you know really well, and you've had good relationships with, and you've got a good understanding. But the whole thing of a gentleman's agreement is largely bullshit, isn't it? Because at any point, which is the case now, because again, it's a really weird, lengthy statement that president put out yesterday, because it's like, oh, we're not accepting 50 plus 10, but we're not accepting 100 either. And you go, well, so what? So wait, he's going, well, that agreement that it was going to be 50 plus 10, that never happened. But also the suggestion that we would sell him for the release clause, that's not going to happen. And we said that's not going to happen. So he's playing a bit sort of fast and loose by sort of saying, yes, we did have an agreement, but we also didn't have an agreement. We had an agreement that he wasn't going to get sold for his release clause, but we didn't have an agreement that it was going to be 50 plus 10. We want a little bit more than that. So, you know, like I said, I think
anyone's game now.
It does seem to, well, and certainly now, the public, you know, the fans of any team, everyone knows the conditions now, don't they? There's no room for, like you said, to interpret anything else. Yeah, it's all about it's all about we know the price. The guys set the price out there. He said it's not going to be the one that was reported, but it's not going to be the release clause. It's somewhere in between. Yeah. So now cases again, who's gonna? I just. Maybe this is going to be clipped up and go on UV clips in like a few days' time, and I'm going to look silly. It wouldn't be the first time. But I just would be surprised if this Arsenal thing happened. Because that would be out of left field. I know they've been linked.
They were so Shesko focused.
Yeah. Well, maybe look. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I hear you. I hear you. It's weird. It's weird. Shane says like the hopium, but do you guys have money? Well, apparently
United.
So. Yeah,
we got a separate company for that money, apparently. So
we keep saying about Chelsea, how are they able to do this? Tell you what, mate, separate. What's it called? Red Lettings or something? What's it
Red Holdings?
Kieran Maguire, Red Holding, mate.
Yeah,
Red Devils Holdings, PLC,
United company,
separate thing, mate. Yeah,
PSR.
We got PSR account.
Yeah,
separate.
Exactly. It's separate. What's it called? Red Football. Nice and original.
There you go, mate. Yeah, I'll tell you what we'll do.
Red Football.
We'll set up a thing called Red Football, put all the PSRPs in there. Yeah, just put, offshore that. Yeah.
That's the only company affiliated with Man United that's not making huge losses.
Yeah.
It's doing very well.
Shout out to Ben. Ben says, interpret. I'll just put it right. Interpret. And what do you think of the new home kit? It's all right. Yeah, it's nice. Me and Owen were saying this on the way in. We were like, this season's been so crap. Last season, sorry. Like, and actually most seasons have been so crap. We're just like, yeah, it's all right, man. Just cool, the kit, fine. Do you know what I mean? It looks all right. I don't hate it. I like the black trim coming down. Yeah.
There's some pictures of it.
Quite like it. It's not far off what it was last year. Whatever, man.
It's not fine. Hugely different.
No, it's the least. I'll be honest. It's the print's quite nice, and it probably look better in person as it always does. But it's like, come on, man. Like I just care about who we're getting to fix this team. As long as it's not an outlandish kit.
And it's one of those ones whereby, like, if you get the really expensive replica, you'll have that print. If you don't, you probably won't have that print. You know. And also, we were sort of chatting about, for instance, my favorite. I say recent. It's over 10 years old now. It's like 12 years old. But my favorite recent home kit was the last one we won the league in, which was the picnic quilt. Thing.
Never really
Flex was like, I didn't really like that. I liked it, but then did I like it because of design, or did I like it just because we actually were successful in it and we won the league? Probably.
And it's iconic because Van Persie had scored all them goals, and
you remember you associate kits a lot of the time with success, don't you? And moments. That's what you associate. You associate kits with. So I would hope, that kit from this season, I'm sick of it. I never want to see it again. The kit from this past season. So it's about what you do in it as opposed to the design.
I'll be honest. I do like that black and yellow one. If that's definitely confirmed
cool.
as the thing, that's nice. Cantona, that is season again. What do you associate it with? That's the season I started supporting Man United when Cantona kicked the fan. It was at Selhurst Park in that kit. I know it's inspired by that. So to me, that's like, that means something. So yeah, but the home kits, I haven't, unless they get given to me or I've got a couple shirts given from Adidas to go get signed for you guys to have. I don't really get the kits. If it gets sent or I go to an event and they're like, there's a Man United kit, I don't really get them. And the training kits get sent. I don't really.
I haven't for a very long time. I used to. I donated them to UVHQ. I had a bunch of
we got loads.
Loads
we got
of old kits. The ones that have like the worst people on the back of them: Fellaini, Hargreaves, Phil Jones,
shocking.
Michael Owen.
You have to put gaffer tape over the back of the shirts.
But
it's not real.
In recent years, haven't. Not for me.
Sean says that black and yellow kit's not real; it's just a mock-up. I don't know. There's been quite a lot of it, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just want players, mate. I just want players. Bear says Liverpool back on the perch on Fergie's watch. Well, it's not really on.
Well, he's not really in charge, is he? You know what I mean? I don't think
he's absolutely not on his watch.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Tabisol says, big up you all, especially our moderators. Why aren't United looking for a new left back? In my honest opinion, we should look for a starter. Onana and Shaw need to go. Free FP. I feel like I don't know, because we're just trying to get a striker so bad, isn't it? And Luke Shaw's not a starter though, is he? That's why he's not classed as that. Dorgu is classed as the starter.
Someone asked me about this yesterday, Flex. They said, and because I've seen it a couple of times when it's like on these kind of shows, sometimes people are like, oh, why aren't you talking about Luke Shaw? And the reality is because no one's talking about Luke Shaw. It won't even be a topic of conversation. Luke Shaw will leave Manchester United when his contract expires. No club will buy him. I mean, James made the point on Monday, and I hadn't really thought about it that much, but he's right. Who would buy a player that on average for the last 2 seasons has been fit for like 5 games a season?
Exactly.
Who would touch that?
You just wouldn't do it, bro.
Who would? Who would? And we're the fools that gave him a new contract in 2023 until 2027. So the countdown is just ticking for that. Really, it'll be the same as Phil Jones and even people like Lindelof. This past, how many transfer windows came and went with Lindelof being linked with a move away? Oh, he's going to go to Turkey or he's going to go to Spain. He's going to go this. He never did.
Run that contract right.
Yeah, exactly. The last couple of transfer windows as well, he suddenly went, God, so when he would appear on crutches. You go, what happened to him?
Yeah. All of that. Not questioning his professionalism. He is a top pro, but the injuries start mounting up, and your willingness and eagerness to get back as a squad player is running down the contract does change. Like if you know football. It changes. So let's just be honest about that. And Chris says, don't buy the kit until they get players in, speed it up. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think they're mutually linked. Honestly, I remember when I think one of the days the Megastore got shut down with one of the kits, but online it was had the most record amount of sales online. It's a couple of years ago. I remember literally Megastore got shut down in one of the protests, but the kit itself was like one of the best numbers possible, like worldwide. Like you can shut down the store, but we're a worldwide club, and people are still going to buy merch. So I don't think they go.
My favorite kit launch thing was a couple of seasons ago. It was when Ronaldo was going to leave in like a few months' time. But they had a whole thing centered around famous number 7s. So it was going to be like Ronaldo sitting with David Beckham, sitting with Cantona, blah, blah, blah. And because at the time there was this sort of like, oh, Ronaldo hadn't come back for pre-season yet. Is he going to leave? Blah, blah, blah. He was left out of that kit launch, the sort of the big number 7 bit. He was featured, but not as featured maybe as they had intended initially. And there were these weird things on social media saying, oh, the amount of orders of the kits were low, so they just threw Ronaldo back in. But this was like 20 minutes after the kit launched. You're going, who is doing multi-million-pound advertising campaigns minute by minute? Going 20 minutes. No, it's not ready. Put the pictures of Ronaldo out. Put them out.
Boost up sales.
Put them out now. You go, oh, come on. Come on, what we
Exactly.
doing here, guys? It was
Exactly.
madness.
And that's the
Absolute
key. Yeah, that's what I mean. The kids just they do what they do in it. Yeah.
But by the way, Flex, hands are up. Hands are up. I was wrong. Hands are up because I said that I thought we'd get a here we go or an announcement for Bride and Boo
Oh
mode
yeah.
by the 10th or by the kit launch. I mean, still time to go today. Still time to go today. Still time to go today, but I've been a bit off on that one.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Thursday.
It's continuing. I mean, I know a few people have said, "Oh, why is Brian and Brumo deal gone a bit quiet and this, that, and the other?" But listen, I just think we're trying to spin plates, guys. We're trying to get deals done. There's a lot going on at Brentford. Manager's on his way out. You know what I mean? You're trying to also negotiate for your best player. You know, it takes time. So I'm not massively worried. I know when there's no here we go or they haven't signed yet, there's always a when. But I think we'll be all right in the Mbumo one. And this Gyokeres one, like we were just saying, man, I think it is interesting if we have to go head to head with Arsenal. Because if we're honest, like I said, the report says, you know, Arsenal matches ambitions. With where he's at now, this is the big one. He's done his time in the champ. He's done his time in Portugal. If you're him, let's be real. From a professional side, you could be choosing to be like, nah, man, I need to go now. I want to be competing for the Premier League, which Arsenal should be doing unless something bad happens. And I want to play in the Champions League as well and have a chance of winning it, which that technically isn't Arsenal. But at the same time, you know, they got to the semi-finals, they got to the quarterfinals last year. From a professional point of view, there's incremental improvement. Or you go
chance to win the Champions League this season, Flex. We're not even in it.
Well, there you go, mate. There you go. There you go.
We're not even in Europe. We got a better chance to win.
Or Gyokeres can do that and go, listen, Amorim made me. I love working with him. The style. I'm confident. He's told me who we're bringing in and who's already there. I'm confident that we'll be back in the Champions League next year. So I'll see to that. Watch what I do there. And I want to continue this story with Ruben. He's a great guy. I don't care about Arsenal. Maybe he says that.
Great guy tax. That's what we're working on. Great guy.
Great guy tax, bro. He made me tax. I owe him tax. He gave me the platform tax. And actually, when I was talking to that Portuguese journalist the other day on my show on TalkSport, he did say something to me that was quite funny. Well, it wasn't funny, but it was quite interesting. He was like, yeah, I mean, Victor Gyokeres was quite annoyed because basically Ruben made him stay. Ruben did everything to make him stay after that year in Portugal, the first year where they won the league, and he like smashed it, scored all them goals, only for Ruben to go halfway through the season and piss off to Man United. So the guy was like, yeah, I mean, Gyokeres was a little bit like, oh, cheers, mate, kind of vibe. So that nice guy tax, it could be you left me tax. It could be FU tax. You know what I mean? It could be, nah, mate, I'm on my own thing now. I don't owe you anything, you know? And the allure
a plan all since the beginning, Fleck. I'm going now.
Yeah, you know, I can't talk to you right now, but I'm going to come back for you. I'm going to send for you. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. It could be either of them things. It could be either of them things. And
yeah,
I don't know, man. I just feel like it's going to be interesting. I kind of, a part of me kind of wants I want it to be a head-to-head thing. I'd love to see like, you know, Ornstein and like Romano, you know, the big guns be like, BIDS gone in, up to Gyokeres to decide. Like that would just be a fair, because it's a fair fight. It's a right. We know what's what. There's no rumors. Ornstein Bomber, BIDS have gone in from both. Just how you see how it was with Delap. Everybody knew that they presented the case. It was up to Delap to decide. Delap decision by this time because he wants to get it sorted before pre-season or whatever. And then we just go, right, Arsenal, it's band for band, mate. We all know what it is. And if we lose, then
you know what it will be. You know what
of course it will be. Owen's Owen in. Oh, he's gone. He's pixelated. He's on Minecraft settings, mate.
I'll be back.
Oh, it's really bad. It's probably the worst it's ever been. It's probably the worst it's ever been on this Manchester United stream.
Like, wouldn't believe.
He's pixelated like you wouldn't believe. I've got to be honest. I've seen Owen pixelated many times, but this by far is worst. It's absolutely the worst I've seen Owen pixelated. He's barely talking. It's usually back even quicker than this now, and it's really pushing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. I've got to say, they'll be panicking in that boardroom seeing Owen as pixelated as this. Normally, they find a solution to these types of problems.
Absolutely disgraceful.
But Manish says there he's an absolute smudge. He's a smudge. He looks like a smudge on the screen.
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
And the problem that United View have got is they can hear him perfectly clear. Absolutely perfectly
Can
clear.
you?
Like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, we can hear you perfectly clear.
Oh.
Like you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
But it's probably the worst we've ever seen you look.
Yeah. I'm back now.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say that yet. You need to chill. You're still not back.
No, I will be. You're
on your way. You're on your way back. You're nearly there.
I will be.
You're nearly there.
I will be.
You will be back. Oh, you will be back. But it's you're nearly there. There's a few more. Yeah.
Right. In the meantime, here's a picture of KG with hair. That's our loading screen. You know what I mean? If things go wrong, it's not the feeling one. It's not the feeling one. It's the KG because he looks kind of confused in that.
Yeah, he does. He does. There you go. Medium wave frequency. That's right. We're all on DAB over here, and Owen's on medium wave and long wave. Crazy. Right, you're back now. Officially.
I'm back.
Yeah, but that was the longest though. Normally you get
disgraceful.
Back
Absolutely disgraceful.
I think it might have been my fault.
Did you do a fleck where you're hardwired but you had the Wi-Fi on?
No. I was trying to do
too
many jobs at once. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to be
Fizzy couldn't handle it.
No, well, but this is the thing, Flex. I'm not sure if it couldn't handle it or if it was just the moment that it happens anyway.
But it was a bit longer than normal.
Well, that's
I want you to try again because this is what fault finding is. This is what troubleshooting is. I want you to attempt to export or do whatever you was doing in that time that took away from your RAM. Your processing speed. I was
again wearing multiple hats for United View is what I was doing.
See, guys, what they say. See, technology, but when it's Owen, see.
I was being a good employee is what I was doing.
Wow.
I was being a very good employee.
Well, good employee doesn't ruin the morning show, make you go to...
Yeah, that's very true.
So, I don't know. You need to be careful with the good... Oh, bit fuzzy again. Oh. I'll tell you what, Owen. Yeah, it's fuzzy now. Yeah, you've gone back. Not as bad as it was the first time, but it's impacting.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on, it's impacting.
I think it was a combination of that and the moment. No, I got it back again. I'll stop.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting worse. You need to stop.
Yeah, I stop.
But there you go. At least we know what that is. Oh, it's really bad.
Can't do that till afterwards. Then can't do it till afterwards.
It's really bad.
I've turned it off, but as we found out last time, this might take a while to recover. That's kind of
we probably should have done this. Let's get the super chat.
He's crying in his car.
Bailey says, Arsenal fan here. We might pivot back to Gyokeres because Leipzig's hard stance on Šeško price. Yeah, true. Reports yesterday from Good Journal, second tier, suggested frustration both Arsenal and Šeško at Leipzig. So again, Leipzig and Sporting just saying we know how much these players are wanted, so we're getting our P's. The Kreflan Dan says that Amorim link biz.
Link is
overrated. Link
is the space overrated. Is next to the B.
Yeah,
on the
come on, guys, try and get the punctuation in there for me, so it's easy to read.
Says you. Have you ever seen your messages? Good grief.
Yeah, I know. Flexes. But, I'm Russian, man. I'm Russian. Why would Gyokeres in his prime at 27 come to United compared to Arsenal? That are a few players from genuinely challenging for the title. Yeah, well, because we're massive, mate. That's why. Lieutenant General says Owen played a title charge Andy Tate thingy. I don't think you have that on the thing.
I don't have that because I don't like to sort of cross-pollinate the sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a KG sound. That
one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, KG's got that one. Right, you are back in the room officially, so you're good now.
Was it gone the whole time? Oh.
What? No, not the whole time. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, while I was reading that super chat, you came back. No, not the whole time. Not at all.
Okay.
He was a disgrace and cheat for most of the time.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know what I was trying to do? I was trying to put up something on the UV socials. That's all I was trying to do. I'll wait till after the show.
I think you should. Yeah. I think you should.
Yeah.
And maybe that's interesting because the whole point was like, oh, we could do that and then now it's like probably can't.
Oh no, I always do that after.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There you go.
This was something else.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Well, yeah.
Nothing like having the meeting on there.
Yeah. Yeah, having it live with the fans. I saw you talk about outgoings the other day.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was a little thing. It's very silly because Rashford had a little clap back. At fan yesterday. Like he likes to do that sometimes, innit? People are always trolling him, saying, "Oh, whatever, mate, you're this, you're that," and sometimes he'll just clap back, and he did yesterday on X. Outgoings, Owen. I just don't. We need to get some serious money, man. We need to get some serious money.
Yeah, I mean the thing in question here, actually, the sort of what Rashford said. We'll get this up for those that didn't see, because this is quite interesting. So as you can see here, this was from United District. Shout out the guys at United District. Shout out Dylan. Marcus Rashford on Instagram, feeling good again with the smiley face and a picture of him doing his sort of. Is it pre-season? I guess technically pre-season.
Yeah,
he's out on the pitch. He's out on the pitch. Yeah. Anyway, this guy here, can't even read that out, says, every preseason he does these photo shoots, but then goes to see boxing matches halfway around the world days before important matches. Makes no sense if you're feeling good 1 month before the season starts. Rashford responded by saying, I'm feeling good because I'm now injury-free, pal. So like you said, bit of a clap back.
Just a quick, yeah. Oh, so it was actually on United District's thread.
Yeah.
There you go, Dylan. At least you got some traffic. You've been working really hard this year.
Yeah. Exactly.
Big up Dylan and the UD crew.
Exactly. UD crew. But he clapped. And you know what I was thinking with it when I was looking at that last night? I was thinking it's one of those ones where, in the same way, Marcus Rashford has every single right in the world to clap back. You know what I mean? When you're on social media, just because you're a professional athlete, just because you're a professional footballer, doesn't mean you have to sit there and take it. If you want to get involved, you can get involved. That's up to you, whether it's a good thing to do or a bad thing to do, whatever. But in the same way, that guy there that says the thing about Rashford going, you do this every pre-season and then you've stunk up the joint, or, or you're worried or people criticize you for your lack of determination or focus. When you're going out in Belfast, you're doing this, that, and the other. That fan's right to say that as well. He's factually right. You do this every preseason. Now, every footballer does it every preseason, but also every footballer, wasn't on 300k a week at Man United and was sort of the centerpiece figure and was going out, and they're not showing up to training the next day because they'd been out the night before. That's pretty bad. So it's one of those ones where I actually think both people there are actually in the right, really.
Yeah.
Rashford's right to hit back. He's allowed to hit back. The fan, I don't know if he's a Man United fan, but he's right to call him out on it because it is the same. But it's one of the. But when I saw this, I literally just went, I will be so glad of this to not be a thing anymore for us to have to deal with. Because I'll be completely honest, when he was at what boxing match was it? I forget. But when he was at that one, and then but at the time he was injured for Villa, and even the Villa fans.
Dean Whittaker. I think he went to Ben Whittaker.
Yeah, and then even the Villa fans were like, "Oh, I thought he's injured." And then you get in the classic, but he's just injured. Doesn't mean he's not allowed to go outside. This, that, and the other. I just went, you know what? I'm so glad that we're not having to deal with that. I'm just glad that that's their thing that they have to deal with now, because it's just tiring, isn't it?
It's jarring, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It just goes on and on and on and. The problem we've still got, obviously, for this foreseeable in this summer anyway, is what happens. And people don't like to hear it. But I think, especially with Rashford and Sancho, man, I just think loans are more likely. Like, I do. Loans with, again, I know we saw what happened with the obligation, but we have to try and sell Sancho. But he's going to aim to run that contract down. Trust me. He's got a year left. Jadon Sancho. And we spoke about what it's like about if we sort of trigger the extra year to protect value, because we'll try and sell you, versus we've tried to sell you for 2 years and nobody's bought you because your wages are too high. So we're not going to sign up to having to pay you that. You're better off trying to find a solution with whatever happens, because also obligation to buy, we can't even do that because it'd be on a free. Wait, we can't do a loan then. Well, if we do a loan, he just goes on the free.
Of what? Sancho?
Shit. Yeah.
He's
'Cause
got an
his
option,
contract-
hasn't he?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is would it be the best thing to take that option?
Depends. And but this is
Depends on a
what I was
lot of
kind
stuff, man.
This is what I was saying yesterday. That as much as we'd already, and we do this every season, don't we? This player's going to go, that player's going to go, that player's going to go. If you said to me, right, so Garnacho, Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, I would say maybe 2 of those end up being permanent. The other 2 will end up probably being loans, perhaps. Because again, going to the Rashford one, but I see the same thing happening as what happened in December and January, which is he's going. Ruben Amorim said, I don't want you here. But then Rashford's like, I want to join Barcelona. Problem is, Barcelona aren't in for you. And they did, money, blah, blah, blah. Gets to close to the end of the window. And it's like, right, you've got to go somewhere. And he ends up going on loan somewhere. The Sancho one, like you said, well, if he wasn't willing to go into the wage structure at Chelsea, who's going to pay him 200, 250K a week? If it's in Europe, probably not going to happen. Would he go to another Prem team who would pay that money then for that amount? Does he now decide that he's happy to go to Saudi? He wasn't a couple of years ago. So that one is difficult. The easiest one there is probably the Garnacho one. That's the easiest one because he's on what, like 50K a week? So you don't really, no club,
funny.
Premier League or Europe would worry about giving him what he wants financially because most would give him more than 50K. Premier League, if you want to stay in the Prem, there'll be suitors after him, Chelsea, Arsenal, etc. So that one will happen. The Anthony one, I guess you just have to hope that his loan was successful enough that maybe clubs outside of Real Betis want him. There was the report yesterday suggesting that Real Betis were going to put in another loan bid with an option, but not interested. Not interested in that because we need to raise funds. So I think we are going to have to wrap our head around a little bit that a couple of those ones that we'd said, right, Rashford, Sancho, they might end up being loans again, or they might end up just dragging out longer than we wanted
They just drag out. Yeah, they're too significant. The wages that are attached to these guys. And again, I know we hate to hear it, but it's true, guys. Yeah, it's true. Like from the player perspective and the camp of what they get advised to do, these men are not taking pay cuts, guys. They're not. They're not going to.
Well, Rashford said he would for Barca. But
yeah, and maybe that, maybe, but even that, like, actually, to be fair, if Barca do come, he probably would find a way to make it happen because he just wants to go there. So,
well, he'd have to try and register him. I mean, it took to like, was it even in March last year? They go, Daniel,
can't play, bro. So it has to be a really disciplined deal to go to Barca, which we know, because that's apparently where he wants to go. But the Sancho thing, I think it's a really difficult one because there's so many different ways you could play it out. You could say, right, activate that. He's got a year left. Put him on loan and give someone an obligation to buy. But the chances are they don't buy him again, and then you're stuck with him for another year, having to commit to those wages by hook or by crook. Then you don't do that. You let him leave for free, and you don't get anything for him. But you just cut the ties of this. We've taken the L already. You just got to cut the ties. You just got to just get out of the situation and move on. Got to take the licks, innit? Like, this ain't going to be pretty. We want to get as much money as we can for some of the more sellable assets who can give us something. But, like Michael says there, don't we dare trigger an extra year for Sancho. Let him go for free. It's like, how much do you balance? How good are our negotiation tactics? We just did an obligation and we're stupid enough to have a clause in there that you could pay a 5 million penalty.
Yeah.
That's an obligation where you have to buy it. And he's still here. So I'm worried now about another obligation to flip in Dortmund, 20 million now because he's got a year like that. 20 million obligation to buy. Gets to the end of the year. Can't really afford him, didn't good. Then he's back. Then what?
Like you said, you would be saying if you're going to do those obligations, look at the language involved in there. No clauses, you know what I mean? No returns, no penalties, no anything. Yeah, right? It's got to be clear cut, guaranteed.
Or the penalty is 20 million.
Yeah, you're paying it anyway. You might as well take the player. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Something along those lines. I mean, or you're looking at different dominoes to fall, right? I suppose because with, for instance, Sancho, if Dortmund had sold Gittins to Chelsea, then you'd go, well, they've got some money then, so maybe they can go get him. But of course, that didn't happen. You're also looking at like Rashford. Well, AC Milan. There were rumors that Leao was going to move to Saudi, wasn't he? Like he could move. He might move to Saudi. If they get Saudi money, then they might have enough to go after Rashford. So it's one of those ones where, as it stands, you look at all of the options that would be available for him, and you go, I just don't see where those clubs are going to get money from unless they sell them. I mean, Thornstar says they could buy and want Rashi after the Sane departure. Wasn't it yesterday they were saying they're going after Nico Williams? I think it was. From Bilbao. So they might even be interested in Rashford. I suppose, again, you never know. Sane was on a big wage at Bayern Munich, really big wage at Bayern. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, Flex. It's going to be very, very tough.
Here's one for you. I've just seen it floating around the internet. Not really involving us, but it's just the name. There's reports from the Mail. I've just seen the thing as well, that John Duran is going to be available on loan after it not really working out in Saudi. Yeah, the report says this. John Duran could leave Al Nassr on loan less than 5 months after his £65 million move from Aston Villa, as personal issues for the striker are revealed. He's been prolific there. He's been prolific in Saudi Arabia, but is reportedly struggling mentally. He scored like 12 goals in like 18 games, so it's not like he's gone there and can't hit a barn door. Al Nassr finished third. But the report says that the doubts are swelling over his future due to issues in his personal life. Apparently, because he wants to live in Bahrain, according to reports, with his girlfriend. Because I think with the laws, the Islamic laws that's in Saudi, he can't live with his partner because he's not married, etc., etc. I know there was reports that Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson lived, and a lot of players, it is quite common for that to happen. Bahrain. Yeah. But anyway, there's reports basically saying that he's available on loan, and I've just, because it's trending, I just looked at, there's United fans in there saying, who says no? Cunha and Brumo get a loan for John Duran. Some Liverpool fans are like, shot Darwin Núñez, go and get John Duran. Why not? Just open the chat. Just wanted to see what anyone thought.
If I take him, of course I would. Of course I would. I was a bit surprised when that whole thing played out how it did at Villa, because I get why you go out. Look, Ollie Watkins, he's done more, but it always felt like, well, if it's an age thing, because Duran's young, isn't he? And he was too good to be sitting on the bench, but. And at the time, everyone was such a waste that he's going to Saudi this young, but it's generational money again, so no problem. Of course, I take him, and he's done it in the Prem, and he scored goals in the Champions League. Do I think United go from? I don't think we end up with. I don't. The
only thing with John Duran at the time that I was a bit unsure of is obviously he was getting his goals mainly like off the bench, like. Bang, 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 worldies. Like, listen, looks really good, but I wanted to, the fact he went for 65 million and didn't even make 10 starts for Villa was crazy, right? Yeah. But he's definitely got something. He's definitely got a lot of quality. You can see there's something there, but you don't know what it'd be like as your main guy day in, day out, week in, week out.
That does show it, like, not the hypocrisy is the wrong word, but it does go to show, like, when. So a couple of days ago, there was that whole discussion. You guys even spoke about it on the Flex and KG show of this, like Gyokeres for a couple of seasons now. Obviously in the Portuguese league, but also in Champions League. Numbers on the board, goals, consistently. And we're like, is he good enough? Because he hasn't done it in England. John Duran, like you said, not even like 10 starts.
Not even 10 starts. Scored quite a few goals in that time.
Because he scored goals, and impressive goals and important goals for Villa. We're like, absolutely bring him in. And also, he's a young guy. We've seen what happens with young players when they come to United. Than so I would just say be careful. Be careful with that, because that is when we do the football snobbery thing, when we're like, wow, like that's Prem versus Portugal, don't it? Prem versus Portugal. And you go, but also it's also Champions League as well. And I know Duran scored a couple of goals in the Champions League, but still, like there's numbers and then there's numbers, isn't there?
Gyokeres has done a lot lot more in his career than
he has.
And I know you say, he's obviously
more ready-made.
He's more ready-made now.
He's ready-made now. And also, when it comes to Duran, and this is actually a good part, an interesting part of this. When you talk about young players, you talk about players that are scrutinized differently when they come to Manchester United. I don't know if you saw this, Flex. Speaking of the Mail, so Matheus Cunha, of course, officially a Manchester United player. We've announced the signing. He played for Brazil on international duty. He got an assist. And a lot of people were raving about his performance, how well he played. Not the Mail. They decided to go with a different headline, which was Matheus Cunha misses horror chance for Brazil just days after signing for Man United, as Red Devil fans blast £62.5 million move already. Blast.
Look at the context underneath, though. Look at the context.
Look. Mail Sport is deliberately misrepresenting United fans with this article. Fans have generally been positive about his performance with the national team, and the images attached to this article are not posts made by United fans.
The media, guys, if you ever wanted a lesson in just what happens, so to keep your calm hat on and just try and, I know we all sometimes go mad at the players when it's the right time, but don't get sucked in. You know what I mean? Nasty work. No, look, he did. Yeah, look, but he did miss a sitter. That miss was shocking, to be fair. Yes, absolutely. But that wasn't what the general consensus of Man United fans was.
Man United fans are not blasting the transfer already, particularly because he missed that chance. You know, they're not. They're not. And that is choosing to focus on a bad miss over an assist.
Who wrote that? I hope it weren't Mike. Was it Mike?
I don't know. I don't know who wrote it. But it's so how bad is that? That is awful, Fleck.
There's just no need, is there? There's just no need. But you know, this is what happens in the media, and this is why. Yeah, who was saying to me? I was arguing with, I say arguing, but discussing and having difference of opinion of with my producer and a couple of other fans about Joe Bellingham. Oh, don't be your own man. Why are you just following your brother? Oh, step out of his shadow. Oh, he should have gone to the Premier League with Sunderland. Shut up. Because let's be honest, in it though, the media's just waiting. The name Bellingham in the transfer window, in the Premier League, they're just waiting. The hounds will be out. Let's be honest, Sunderland probably fortunate to get back up. Really pleased for them that they did, but wasn't. They finished like 14 points behind Sheffield United, something like that. So probably not. And then they're going to spend a season probably like at Ipswich, where you're on the back foot, you're getting licks every week. He's not as forward thinking as Jude. He plays deeper, so you can't get on the ball, you can't shine. You're getting licks every week. People are going, "Oh, I see, he's not that good," and all of a sudden your reputation is taking a hit, and the media's out to get you. Or you listen to your family. You go to a loving club where the Bellingham family have a fantastic relationship in the Bundesliga. You're at one of the better teams in the league. You're playing in Europe. The fans will love you, and they will take their time with you. Of course, just no brainer, mate. And you've secured Sunderland a record fee, by the way, is what he is. 38 million, I think it is. So it just goes to show you how the media, this is what's on the other side. That, you know what I mean? Playing in a team that's getting licks every week. Bellingham nowhere near as good as Jude. And all this stuff will just start happening if he comes here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
no point.
That's how it works in the Prem. It's how it works in the Prem, isn't it?
Exactly.
Don't know why.
Eminem says comments under the district thread is dreadful. Rashford made mistakes, but we speak about environment for Nacho, but never for him. Like Owen said, it's two-sided, isn't it? It's just quite toxic, isn't it? And that's why he probably needs to go. He needs to leave. Right, peeps. Big up to each and every single one of you. Smash a like on the video. It's been a big show, good show. Where did we get likes wise? We didn't even push consistently through the show. We had big numbers. Didn't get to 1K actually. That's our fault for not reminding you. It was still your fault too. But yes, let's get as close to that as we can on the way out, guys. Video coming up on the Football Flex. Kind of probably from the Arsenal side. I'm honest. I'm gonna draw for my nerfs, and we have to. Yeah, we have to talk. We need to.
I'll tell you
chat.
what, you got some heat yesterday on the Football Flex.
Oh, you
got some heat yesterday.
And I was in them comments with them idiots. I was there because you know what, Owen. You know what? I don't know if you watched the video, right? But Owen, it's typical on the internet. You can make it very, very clear what you're saying. You know? I said, listen. I said, Verts. I said, listen.
Flex.
I think he's a top player. I don't think he's going to flop. But all I said is, let's be honest, guys, 150 million comes with expectation. Let's be real. He needs to be having Bruno numbers. He needs to be having like Cunha numbers. He needs to be having like even Eze. He needs to be having like numbers that represent the price tag because that's what it comes with. Oh, my God. as soon as you mention Bruno, did he really just say that, comparing him to that bum Bruno? Oh, why are you saying Bruno? Ah, he's not going to be Anthony. He's not going to be. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Do you think that you can just?
No, wait a minute.
Liverpool fans, do you think we're just going to allow you to sign a player for a British record fee, and all of us just go, including you? You're allowed to just go. It's fine if he does absolutely nothing. It's fine. We get behind our players. Shut up. It's 150 million.
Rightfully so. People point out that the Paul Pogba got 4 assists in a game. Graham Souness went, needs to do more. 100 million. I'm looking for him to do more. What's that 150 million do then?
Exactly. And the only thing I was saying in there, the only thing I said in there was we have to discuss it. And I said, I'm not going to be the one to be bashing him and just this, that, and the other. I'm going to call it as it is. That's what I do. I think he's a top draw player. I even said, if he shows up how I think he can show up, he could be top 5 attacking players in the league. I've said all these positive things, but they just heard the B word in Bruno and it lost them. It fried them. It's crazy. So basically, we're not allowed to have any expectation of the player that costs 150 million euros, 127 million pounds. And then it was, oh, you're so clickbait putting in 150 million and not specifying that it's euros. Mate, just accept that you're smashing the transfer record and it comes with expectation. It comes with eyes. That's it. That's it. And there were some sensible ones in there as well, actually.
Flex, it's that Coutinho money. It's that Coutinho money that they've now spent on Alisson, on Van Dijk, on Nunes, on Wirtz, on all of these players. Some people have the nerve to go, so Coutinho money. Coutinho left like a decade ago nearly now. How are we talking about here? That clip from Jurgen Klopp when he was like, there are some clubs we just can't compete with financially, Yeah. And since then, they put a bid in. Remember as well, they put the bid in for Caicedo. Over 100 million. It's not the first time they've even done that.
Yeah, they tried to do it. Yeah, they wanted Bellingham as well.
Yeah, but it's the Coutinho money from 2017, 2018.
And you know what it is? And you know the thing is, oh, this United fan, think about your own team and I just respond, neutral channel, mate. That's it. I just respond, neutral channel, mate. And again, why does it, Lavia too, why does it have to be about Anthony? Why does it have to be about Jack Grealish? Why does it have to be about Di Maria? Mate, it's about Florian Wirtz, and he's coming to your football club for the best part of 127 million pounds. It means he has to deliver. That's it. There's no discussion. There's no, don't compare it to Anthony. No, as soon as you cost that much money, it doesn't matter what, because they're saying it's different because he's actually operating as one of the best players in the world now. Even more reason because he's doing it and he's coming in with a massive reputation of actually being amazing. So he has to deliver. Then you prove
the best players in the world have never moved for a lot of money and then flopped. Yeah. You know what I mean?
When Neymar went to flipping PSG, when he went from he had to deliver. When he went from PSG to flipping Saudi, he hasn't delivered. It hasn't worked.
We're old enough to remember when, and this shows how much football was inflated, but I remember when Chelsea signed Andrei Shevchenko for like 30 million quid at the time. I mean, the genie's well out the bottle when it comes to football prices, I know, but 30 million pounds at the time was like, that is outrageous. They were like, that would be like today signing someone for 150 million pounds. I can't believe that, blah, blah, blah. But it was Shevchenko, like, always score all these goals for AC Milan, brilliant players, won Champions Leagues, amazing. He was shit at Chelsea. He was rubbish. And it's not always a guarantee. Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. We shall see. And that was a Chelsea team that was very successful, always winning the Premier League. So,
yeah, but he's right. Remember, you can't tell them how to think or feel.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's what it's down to. But there were some sensible Liverpool fans in the chat who were saying absolutely spot on. You're just saying that, this is all eyes are on him. That's all. That's all we're saying. I mean, shout out KG. He went full Nigerian. He did a wicked clip saying converting how much
Souness, wasn't he?
Nigerian Souness, yeah. Is it KG Souness or just Nigerian Souness?
I can't remember.
Something like that. It's brilliant. Check it out. And he's basically got his notebook out. He's converted it into the Nigerian currency. And he's gone, the first game is against Preston pre-season. I need 5 goals.
I mean, I've done sketches with KG whilst he's been in that character. So the moment he was wearing that hat, the glasses, and that shirt, I knew exactly who he was. And That is, of all the sketches me and KG did, we did them around the World Cup a couple of years ago. That was the one. Oh no. The one I struggled the most in was when he's a singer. He was a rapper, and I really struggled in that one. One of them we did completely in one take. It was amazing, but a couple of them I really struggled.
You have to
really
redo that. Yeah,
oh my god! It's when he starts singing "Shine Bright Like a Diamond." Oh, it's ridiculous.
So check it out, man. He's in his bag. So yeah, big up to KG. Go check that out. Subscribe to everyone's channels, man. There you go. Owen Wrestle News 365 was just there on the screen. You can subscribe to that and check out Football Flex. I'll have some fun on there this morning as well. Right, take care, people. What day is it today? It's Thursday. We will have some more content for you guys later for sure.
What the devil
will be on. So yes, check out Dylan and the guys. We're out of here. Take care, man. Big show.